What is offered for free is dangerous. It usually involves either a trick or a hidden obligation. What has worth is worth paying for. By paying your own way, you stay clear of gratitude, guilt, and deceit. It is also often wise to pay the full price. There is no cutting corners with excellence. Be lavish with your money, and keep it circulating. For generosity is a sign and a magnet for power. In the realm of power, everything must be judged by its cost, and everything has a price. What is offered for free or at bargain rates often comes with a psychological price tag. The powerful learn early to protect their most valuable resources, independence and room to maneuver. By paying full price, they keep themselves free of dangerous entanglements and worries. Being open and flexible with money also teaches the value of strategic generosity, a variation on the old trick of giving when you are about to take. By giving the appropriate gift, you put the recipient under obligation. Generosity softens people up to be deceived. By gaining a reputation for liberality, you win people's admiration while distracting them from your power plays. By strategically spreading your wealth, you charm the other courtiers, creating pleasure and making valuable allies. Look at the masters of power. The Caesars, the Queen Elizabeths, the Michelangelos, the Medicis. Not a miser among them. Even the great con artists spend freely to swindle. Tight purse strings are unattractive when engaged in seduction. Casanova would give completely not only of himself but of his wallet. The powerful understand that money is charged with emotion, and that it cultivates civility and friendliness. They understand and use the human side of money to gain influence. For everyone able to play with money, thousands more are locked in a self-destructive refusal to use money creatively and strategically. These types represent the opposite pole to the powerful, and you must learn to recognize them, either to avoid their poisonous natures or to turn their inflexibility to your advantage. Let us look at the 4 basic types of people who do not use money well in the realm of power. Number 1. The greedy fish. The greedy fish take the human side out of money. Cold and ruthless, they see only the lifeless balance sheet. Viewing others solely as either pawns or obstructions in their pursuit of wealth, they trample on people's sentiments and alienate valuable allies. No one wants to work with the greedy fish, and over the years they end up isolated, which often proves their undoing. Greedy fish are the con artist's bread and butter. Lured by the bait of easy money, they swallow the ruse hook, line, and sinker. They are easy to deceive, for they spend so much time dealing with numbers instead of people, that they become blind to psychology, including their own. Either avoid them before they exploit you or play on their greed to your gain. Number 2. The bargain demon. Powerful people judge everything by what it costs, not just in money but in time, dignity, and peace of mind. And this is exactly what bargain demons cannot do. Wasting valuable time digging for bargains, they worry endlessly about paying too much. On top of that, the bargain item they do buy is often shabby. Down the line it will need repairs or will have to be replaced twice as fast as a high-quality item. These types might seem to harm only themselves, but their attitudes are contagious. Unless you resist them, they will infect you with the insecure feeling that you should have looked harder to find a cheaper price. Don't argue or try to change them. Just mentally add up the cost, in time and inner peace if not in hidden financial expense, of the irrational pursuit of a bargain. Number 3. The sadist. Financial sadists play vicious power games with money as a way of asserting their power. They might, for example, make you wait for money that is owed you, promising that the check is in the mail. Or if they hire you to work for them, they meddle in every aspect of the job, haggling and giving you ulcers. Sadists seem to think that paying for something gives them the right to torture and abuse the seller. If you are unlucky enough to get involved with this type, accepting a financial loss may be better in the long run than getting entangled in their destructive power games. Number 4. The indiscriminate giver. Generosity has a definite function in power. It attracts people, softens them up, and makes allies out of them. But it has to be used strategically, with a definite end in mind. Indiscriminate givers, on the other hand, are generous because they want to be loved and admired by all. And their generosity is so indiscriminate and needy that it may not have the desired effect. If they give to one and all, why should the recipient feel special? Attractive as it may seem to make an indiscriminate giver your mark, in any involvement with this type you will often feel burdened by their insatiable emotional needs. Don't pursue easy money. Stay far away from get-rich-quick schemes. There is no free lunch. Everything has a price. People are essentially lazy. They want wealth to fall into their laps instead of working for it. This delusion of easy money will make you greedy. Greed will cause you to neglect everything power is based upon, like self-control and the goodwill of others. No lasting change in fortune comes quickly. Sudden wealth rarely lasts, for it has no solid foundation. Understand? Greed will erode your power. Make power your goal, and money will come to you. The powerful must have grandeur of spirit. They can never reveal a pettiness. It is best to spend freely, and create a reputation for generosity. In the end, this will pay great dividends. Being petty over money will only create resentment, and have the opposite effect. So don't become petty over financial details. It's much more important to focus on the big picture of how people perceive you. Money must circulate to bring power. What money should buy is not lifeless objects, but influence over people. Relationships among the powerful may be determined by money, but it's not necessarily the amount of money you have, but how you use it. You can climb the ladder of power by giving gifts to the rich and powerful. A gift involves indebtedness or obligation. A gift also implies that you are equal, or superior, to the recipient. So play the equal to those more powerful than you. Begin to make the powerful indebted to you. Strategic gift giving can buy you an invaluable circle of influence. The masters of power are all generous. The powerful understand that money is psychologically charged, and that it is a vessel of politeness and sociability. They make the human side of money a weapon in their armory. Strategic generosity is always a great weapon in building a support base. Particularly, if you are an outsider. Strategic generosity is the ability to be flexible with your wealth, putting it to work not to buy objects, but to win people's hearts. With money, you have the ability to give pleasure to others. The more you can do this, the more you attract admiration. Generosity has an unmistakable function in power, but it has to be done strategically, with a definite end in mind. Don't be an indiscriminate giver. If you give to everyone, why should the recipient feel special? However, you do want to build a reputation as a liberal giver. Such a reputation will win admiration, and distract others from your power plays. There is no better use of strategic generosity than that of distracting attention from an unsavory reality. Understand, there is an emotional element in our attitude toward money. That element is deep-rooted and goes back to childhood. As children, gifts from our parents are seen as signs of love and approval. This emotional element never goes away. So when you give a gift, the recipient is suddenly vulnerable like a child, and cannot help but loosen up. To succeed best, a gift should be unexpected. And don't give certain people gifts too often. Too many gifts will be taken for granted, and lose their effect. The sudden, unexpected, one-time gift has real power. And finally, the more your gifts, or acts of generosity play with sentiment, the more powerful they are. A gift that is charged with emotion or sentiment, has more power, than the money you spend on an expensive, but lifeless present.